In this tutorial, I want to show you how to basically add a background and have it parallax or have it move at different speeds to show depth. I'm going to do a very basic way of doing this. You would probably add in more layers or more objects, but I'm just going to show you very quickly. So I added a tree close, tree medium, and tree far layer just by clicking the new layer button, again in the bottom left-hand corner of the timeline. And then I just went to the web. I found a PNG file of a tree. I did that because I wasn't going to draw it. I was just going to animate something that's already been made. And I chose a PNG file because it has what's called an alpha channel, or it's transparent behind it. That's what this little checkerboard means. So I downloaded that already. And then I'm just going to click and drag it in while I'm on my tree close layer. And there we go. I've got an image in here now. Now, if the transform options don't come up here, because it was just showing a box around it at first, you can come up here to modify, go to transform, and click on free transform in order to make sure you can resize this. So I'm going to resize this down a little bit. So I'll make it about that size. And I'm going to place it over here on the left-hand side. Now, I want to make basically an exact copy of this for tree medium. So I'm going to hit Command C, just copy it, go to tree medium, Command V to paste it. This one's going to be a little bit smaller because it's a little further in the distance. So I'm sort of making these layers here. I'm going to need to readjust these layers too, but because they're not in the right order. So that's kind of my medium one. Then I'm going to copy that, go to my tree far, and paste it. Make it even smaller, holding down Shift to keep it proportional. And then I forgot I need to put tree close on the top here, and then tree medium, and then tree far. Okay, so now I've got these layers of trees. I can see these tree trunks here. I'm actually going to, let's move this one over even a bit more. Let's lock that. So I can drag that over more. And my tree far, I'm going to drag that over more. So again, I've got this layer of trees here. So now all I'm going to do on my tree close layer, I'm going to go ahead and go to the end of this. I'm just going to create a motion tween. Okay, it's going to say I need to convert it to a symbol. I should have done that beforehand. I wasn't thinking, but I'll just hit OK. So it's now motion tween. I'm just going to go to the last frame here, and I'm going to move this object all the way to the opposite side of the frame. I'm going to do the same thing on tree medium. Create motion tween. Again, it brings up this box that says, do you want to convert it to a symbol? Just hit OK. I should have done this beforehand, but again, for our purposes, it's going to be fine. I'm going to bring the medium tree over, but again, I'm not going to bring it all the way over to the edge. I'm going to bring it over to maybe right there. And then again, do the same thing with this last tree. Create motion tween. Do you want to convert it to a symbol? Yes, okay. I'm going to go to the last frame, and I'm going to move this one over. But again, this one's not going to move quite as far. It's going to be maybe right there. So now when I play through this, you'll notice that the front tree goes a little bit faster than the back trees. Okay? Goes a little bit faster than the back trees. So I might even want to, on this, let's see, I'm going to go to the medium layer and see if I can't. I'm going to try and spread these out just a little bit more because they're a little hard to see. If you have a hard time getting to the objects behind, if you just hit the lock button, that won't allow you to select it, so that way you can select the actual object that you want. So I'm going to move the medium tree there, and then my far tree, I'm going to lock that as well so I can get to my far tree and move it over just so we can see the trees just a little bit better. So now you can see the trees move at different speeds. I'm going to put my ball on the front frame now. Okay, so now it looks like my ball is traveling from right to left, right, is the way the trees are moving. Let's say I wanted to reverse that. I can actually come in here and reverse my motion. I'm going to do that on all of them because I really want it to feel like it's moving. Reverse keyframes. So now my ball is bouncing and moving from left to right. Does that make sense? So very quickly, I just created 3 new layers. and I created depth on each layer, so I have an object that's close to the camera, which is on top of the rest of them. I have an object that's kind of in medium distance, and I have an object that at a far distance, and I just created them into a motion tween, and I had them move across the screen, but at different speeds basically, because the close tree is moving further. You'll notice because it starts here, right, almost on the far right side, and it goes clear over to the far left side. The medium tree starts a little bit further in from the side and only goes, again, not quite the full way to the side. And then the far tree doesn't move hardly at all. It moves from clear over here, almost the middle of the screen, to basically still the middle of the screen. It just moved a little bit. That is what we call parallaxing. Okay, so this is what you're going to do is create basically create some depth in your background to be able to show movement without having to show movement in our object like the ball, or if you had a person walking or something, we can move the background as opposed to the object or person.